Oh, blimey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video. Today is going to be a long day for me. A very long day. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm producing. But we're starting it off with a little bit of Grimrock here. Today should be a fun episode because we should finish this floor of the Crystal Mines and learn the most powerful mage spell in the game, which is going to be really cool. So we got a bunch of secrets to collect. What I actually did off screen is I redid the entire last episode. Now it took me a grand total of about 6 minutes to rush through the entirety of everything you saw last episode, and the reason I did this was because I didn't like how we'd spent that black moss, I believe. Wait, hold on, why do we only have 3? Well, I guess I just crafted another one. I didn't like how we used the black moss. Here we go. See, we've got 4 potions of resurrection here. It's really stupid. We used 2 right before we went to the save crystal. How dumb was that, guys? Oh, my goodness. So, I just went back and got this stuff again. The only thing that's different is I didn't come into this tiny little crevice here and map this bit out. So, what we're going to do to start off with is show off that crystal room once again. We do indeed have the key, which I'm just going to put in the door here. That's where we're going to want to go. But first of all, let's head back into that crystal room and grab a secret that was in there. I've got to be honest with you guys, a lot of you thought I was teasing you and stuff. I actually wasn't. I had no idea that this was here. How bad is that? Last episode, I said, oh look, there's something over here. I wonder how we're going to get it. And I was being sort of serious. The secret button was here, which I was basically looking at as I said that. So you're going to press the button. It'll create the light bridge. We're going to travel across. You can collect this crystal here. I would recommend that you cast a fire shield on yourself before you do this, though, just because I got a little bit of forewarning for this. And what do you guys say we maybe put the shaman staff on Sandon as well? I've had a ton of comments about this, just so that he gets more energy. He's going to be casting some very powerful magic soon, and so this will be useful. So here we go. We're going to pick up the crystal shard of protection, and as you can see here, some fire elementals are coming at us. In fact, we get 2 fire elementals and an ice elemental. I managed to actually kill both of them before they hit us here, so the fire shield isn't actually doing anything. But that's useful, right? Because if you do get hit, if you're not ready, then it'll protect you. It certainly did for me earlier. These elementals are pretty dangerous as well, quite powerful. But we can shatter them, and there you go. So, again, this is one of those things where it's like, hey, here's a secret with something extra, and you think it's like a trap. It's actually, just look at it as more experience, right? More stuff for you. Here, we'll get some cheese, and this will actually give Tekrit a bit more dex. It's the first time in a while he's eaten cheese, and it's actually given him the stat that he wants. So he's up to 24 now, striding along just behind Loto Patho, who's at 29, and he's been hogging far more of the potions. But yeah, we've also got a blood drop cop. Wait, wow, what? A blood drop cap, sorry, on the floor here. And pretty much this is it. It's just a small little chamber. I'm going to leave the poison bombs. In fact, let's just throw them off that way because we don't really need them. And there's 2 broad-headed arrows as well. Kind of interesting to me. Wouldn't people have moved on from these by now? Maybe not, because the mathematics out there would probably have stuck with the bow, right? Because of the shorter cooldown or whatever the discrepancy there was. But that's fine. Okay, so yeah, as you can see here, we're in like a chamber way off in the top left of the floor. And it's nice to be able to get this mapped out. There you go. Really kind of bizarre little secret there. I guess to just sort of fill a bit of space on the map. I don't know. And there we go. We don't actually need to deal with that crystal. Last time I came here on my other file, I was all injured and stuff at this point. It was pretty terrible. So what we're going to do is, before we head through this gate to check out where we can progress after we put the mine key in, there was actually another path that we could travel down, which I want to show to you guys down here. Remember where we did this simulacrum? Which, by the way, you guys mentioned is basically like a word for, as far as I can understand it, sort of like a clone? Sort of, but not. And it's weird because every time I've ever heard the word, like some people were like, oh, this is some kind of a book or tome or something, which you'd expect. I believe one of the Lord of the Rings like books is actually called the Simulacrum, right? But yeah, apparently it's more like a ghostly image of something or a clone of some sort. Interesting, considering I have spent so much time in a video gaming franchise where the mesmer is a thing. And they have never, ArenaNet have never decided to use a word like that, but whatever. I guess it makes sense because, look, we've got the actual physical blocks and then the simulacrums are these ones in here. Whatever, we've done that puzzle. But over here, you can still see that there's a bunch of spiders wandering around. We're going to try and get into there now. We're going to do that by coming along over here on the right. And here you'll notice that there's a receptacle for us. Got to get the quota in for that word here. We'll give Loto Patho some warg meat and a door. So ultimately, we want to get through this door, and there's nice, friendly, itsy-bitsy spiders staring at us. I had like a kid's book when I was younger. that was about a spider who had all the, like, these little red shoes, and it was this whole story about how he'd lost one of his shoes. It's like one of the only times in my life that I've been really, really comfortable with the idea of spiders, except when I started watching spider videos on YouTube. It's kind of weird, actually. I don't know why I just thought that. Here, this secret, this is all for a secret, by the way. It's called Only the Fearless May Pass, or at least that's the note that we get as a clue. We get a button. Pressing the button doesn't seem to do anything except create some kind of a teleporter. Now, you might think that's in the middle of the room. It's not. If we can click it like this. There you go. You'll notice that it's actually on the far side of the room. So, there's very little we can do to interact with this. We could, in theory, like, fire an arrow and try and hit it at the same time. But all that would happen is the arrow would appear basically at our feet. So why does this exist? Well, we get 3 trapdoors down here. My first instinct when I first came in this room, I saw Only the Fearless May Pass. I came along, I saw there was a pressure pad on the other side with a gate. I thought that the fearless thing to do would just be to YOLO run straight across, and hopefully this trapdoor in front of us would actually like close beneath our feet or something, and it would be like some kind of a failure clause if we tried to push weight on that pressure pad. So what I did was I just ran forward, and indeed that's what I'm going to do for you guys here as well. And we're actually going to head to the 2nd floor here. I keep missing the rope here on Lotopatho. Of the crystal mines, to kill a few enemies. We're actually in a spider den, as you can see, and there's an awful lot of them around us. We're going to back ourselves into a corner here. We are going to do that. We're going to kill this one. Oh, we can't. Okay, he's going to be stuck here. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start killing a whole bunch of these spiders. There is a chance that you can sneak up on some of them. I'm sure coming down here with invis on you would be a good idea. For me, though, my first experience was just falling in a horrible, horrible, horrible manner. Getting injured and stuff, taking damage from the drop, and then immediately being surrounded by all of these spiders too. This force field is going to break in a second, but that's fine because we've already cleared a few of them out. There's a spider over there, but he hasn't seen us, which is also okay. We're finally going to stop spamming the same ability in a second. It's going to be so fun. Here we go. Wait, are you the one I just saw in the corner? Did you just move really quickly? Oh, I guess you did. That sucks. There we go. So we'll reclaim all of our bolts. Are there any more spiders around? Let's have a look. I've stealthed. We do still have a light source on us, however. This is actually kind of cool for me because this is one of the rare times, one of the very few times in the entire game where anti-venom is useful. This poison will linger for long enough and irritatingly enough that you may as well drink a couple of anti-venoms. We've been lugging those around for ages. We still even have one left here as well. How about we use that blood drop cap there to make Sanon a potion to fix his arm up. So that's cool. We get some mudwort, ever the rarest recipe thing, in my opinion, that we've got. So yeah, what do we have down here now? Well, if I open up the map, you will see we're now at a place called the Crystal Mine Core. And so we are 1 level down. The crystal mines technically are on the ground floor, so we're only at the level of the sewers right now. But yeah, so we got the Crystal Mine Core. This is where we are. This is like a little preview of it because obviously we only fell through a trapdoor. And we get a bunch of these like spawning kind of things that you break of the spiders, and loads of little ones will scuttle out and all over the place. It's kind of freaky and creepy, and they actually count as light sources for themselves, I guess, a little bit. Yeah, just really, really bizarre looking things. I would have expected this maybe to have been some kind of a boss fight room at some point. It is very reminiscent of when we were in the bog, if you remember, and we had all of those herders in there, right? And we had the boss fight where they would infinitely respawn unless we damage these spawners. These look a lot like those, just ever so slightly different. Anyway, so we've got another spider over there. Maybe we can sneak up on him. No, he's noticed us. That's fine. We can just smack him about. I wonder if there is really a mechanic at all in Grimrock of sneaking up on stuff without being stealthed. I know you can quickly move around, you know, slow lumbering enemies to sort of backstab them and stuff, but without invis it would be very difficult for most enemies, especially like animals and stuff that seem to be able to detect you easily. Anyway, we're just breaking these for the fun of it. We actually don't get anything for breaking it. It's just, you know, I feel like I'm in Aliens, Alien 2 or Aliens, and we're just sort of Ripley running around with a flamethrower right now, destroying stuff for the sheer fun of it. Here we go, we get another blood drop cap. And on here we get another potion of resurrection. That's fantastic. I don't actually think I picked that up on my test file. So here we can go straight back into this teleporter, which I will do. And you actually see that it takes us back. Oh, wow, what the heck? Interesting. That I was expecting us to take us out somewhere completely different. All right, let's go back down. So we're sort of on an upper ledge, though, you've noticed, okay? And the main thing you want to collect here is there's a gold key. I believe this is the place, right? We've got a shank here. Right, which we want to eat. That's fine. Isn't there a gold key, like, right at the edge? Yeah, there's a gold key right here. Easy to miss. You want to pick this up from this highest ledge. But you guys might also be wondering, well, what's lower down? So we can totally check that out. We can come onto the bridge, I think is the best way. What we want to do, really, is just fall down 1 floor. Actually, that's going to take us down 2 floors, isn't it? So we don't want to do that. Let's go back over into this area and drop down. Now, by doing this, we're actually going to come to another area we could have fallen into earlier. Think back to last episode where we did that initial puzzle where there were the 4 buttons on the walls and the pressure pads. We weren't in there for very long at all, but those were trapdoors there. We could have, in theory, fallen down. I never showed it to you guys, but if you did fall down there, you would end up where I am now stood, you see? And we've got these 2 ledges, and again, we can drop even lower down once again. And we won't injure ourselves in the process. There should be a... okay, there's a sack and a blood drop cap. So here we go. We've got another one here. It's like the blood drop caps grow around save crystals, which are being mined here somehow. And isn't that kind of an interesting idea, since the blood drop caps clearly have restorative properties, which the crystals also do? Kind of makes sense. But yeah, so if you did that, you'd be where we currently are. And if we go through this teleporter, you notice we're actually way back somewhere else in the dungeon now. We're near the start. We're back in this room. So that's kind of the way it works. If you were to climb down one of these or fall down one of these, mess up this puzzle, that's where it takes you. It takes you 1 floor below into this large chamber, which we've now totally mapped out. The thing is, if you fall down in here, you can't get to that upper ledge where we found the gold key. So it's kind of best to do it in the order that I ultimately showed it in you guys anyway. So there we go. We'll just redo this little puzzle. Very simple. We can come around here. We press this. Oh, I thought I moved forward 1 extra there, and it kind of scared me. And there you go. So, oh, and we've got a spider that apparently has been released here. Wow, why are there 2 spiders here? These guys just spawned because we fell down? Oh, did they spawn because we were popping the spawners below? Is that a mechanic? Oh, no. I'll tell you what. These are probably just because we opened the mine. Yeah, we opened the mine door, and these are spawns from the next room that have just decided to escape, because for whoever knows how many years they have been stuck, wandering in the same hallways, unable to break through the slowly rotting slats that are supposed to be walls here, when they could clearly just slide under. Look, can you imagine one of these big spiders like squeezing its way through one of these gaps, like all of its legs going individually first, like arcing inwards like some kind of bow tie, and then like pulling itself forward? Ugh. Jeez, hideous. Okay, cool. So, we've got that. Let's go back, though, now that we've seen what's down the hole, and see if we can actually figure out this puzzle. What was the note we got once again? Again, we got the door, we got the receptacle, and the note that says, "Only the fearless may pass." So here's what we're going to do. I will demonstrate this twice, at the risk of injuring my guys, but whatever. Let's fire an arrow across there, shall we, and see what happens. Well, that's going to close all of the trapdoors around us, and a fireball is going to come and hit us. Oh, I shouldn't have done it that way. Okay, that was kind of silly. Hold on. Maybe we can lift this off. That doesn't demonstrate the puzzle to you guys at all. Are we going to have to redo the whole thing now? Oh my god, yeah, wow. This is totally bizarre what we're doing right now. Okay, let me cut it 1 second. I'm going to come back. Okay, let's try that again. When we put weight on this, you'll notice the door opens, but a fireball comes flying at us. So we want to back up, we want to go away. But all of the trapdoors around us have also opened at the same time, plummeting to us to our death. So what were we not just then, guys? We were not fearless. And only the fearless may be able to pass. So the way you do this is how I accidentally just did this. And here, now we want to press this button, which will remove weight and allow us to reclaim our quarrel here. So how do we do this? Well, we are supposed to be fearless. We let the fireball hit us, and then once the fireball hits us, a teleporter moves us onto the pressure pad we just fired this thing on. There you go, like so. I don't even know if that did any damage to us or you needed that fire shield. I don't think so. I guess I'll look at that again in the editing where it will be easier to notice. But yeah, so that's kind of the way it works. We do want weight to stay on this now, and so we can progress down. We're going to get a really cool looking thing here. Oh, look, it's the Island Master! And he's gone. And that's kind of a very rare sighting of him because, of course, we are in quite a subtle secret here. Now, here's something cool. We're actually walking on a bridge over the first secret that was in the crystal mines. You know where we opened up the door and got to go back to Twig Root and stuff? Well, now we actually get a glimpse of it. You can even get a glimpse of the stairs there, just very carefully over in the distance there. And this is actually really cool. I've seen threads and stuff online where people are saying, wow, I can see this pit here as a part of the secret. How do we get there? And then, you know, people chime in and say, oh, that's actually a totally different secret. Really, really cool. And this is what I was talking about before as well, where you can see in the distance spaces you'll ultimately come to much later. But we're not done with the puzzle. Here we've got a bolt that gets fired out from this pressure pad. And it's a nice one, so these ones never do damage to us. But if we're stood here, it can't go anywhere. So what we want to do is allow this to have free reign and come back down the corridor. But if we were to like fire a bolt or something, it's coming at us, we can't move, and then it ends up hitting us. And that's not ideal, is it? So let's grab this back. So what we actually have to do is outrun the ice bolt. And it's actually quite simple. If you stand about here, fire it, turn around. You may not even have to turn around. Book it and just hide off on the side here. It'll fly through, and what do you know? It will keep going in a long line, and then ultimately it'll hit the receptacle I talked about right at the start. Once it's hit the receptacle, all the trapdoors will come back up, that door will open, and no matter what configuration these other pressure pads and stuff are in, it doesn't matter anymore. You can just grab your stuff and basically get the hell out of there. And there you go. And this door is open. This is a really cool secret. We're going to get some... Oh, wow. We destroyed that spider. My God. That was like friggin' TA. Lotopatho got poisoned by the spider and then he just went mental on it. Okay, that's fine. So we'll kill these guys. I'm not being particularly careful with the dancing and stuff. The spiders feel... I don't know. They were so scary and so deadly. The venom was so painful in Grimrock 1. You guys will remember what that was like if you've played it. In this game, you only find spiders so late. And I love that spiders are in the game, ultimately. I really do, don't get me wrong. But you find them so late into the experience that actually, at least with the way I've played here, they're not even that dangerous. I'm going to leave the poison on for now because we're going to go back to the save crystal in a second. But what are we getting here? We get two things. Number one, we get the crystal boots. This is almost the last piece of the set. You can feel magical energy flowing from the blue shards of crystal in these boots. What a better place to find the crystal armor than the crystal mines, eh? I really think there could have been a configuration once where they did like the armor sets like that. And over here, which is where we were looking at before, you notice everything's nice and neatly mapped out. We get a scroll of Meteor Storm. Meteor Storm is the 15th spell that Sanin will ultimately learn, and I actually got an achievement for casting this. So the 15th spell, this is pretty cool. This requires fire magic to be maxed out and air magic to have 3 points in it, which we got a long time ago. The episode I showed you guys the invisibility spell, we could have been casting this ever since then. There were some comments way back then, people talking about it. This I've had a lot of discussion about. I wanted to wait until we would actually learn it though. So here you go. Meteor Storm unleashes a devastating storm of meteors on your foes. We will try that out very soon, hopefully on an enemy, maybe next episode. Maybe I'll be that much of a tease. So yeah, that's a really cool spell, and I'm happy about that. One thing I never actually really pointed out to you guys that dawned on me is the order we've played the game in. We went to the pyramid very early. Most players don't have that luxury because to get into the pyramid, if you remember, you have to complete that pressure pad puzzle where you input spells, and one of the spells we had to input was the lightning bolt spell. And the thing about the lightning bolt spell is you don't really learn that until quite late in, what is it, the Ruins of Desireen, the Hamlet of Stormbreach, or the sewers or something. So there's actually a lot of backtracking and zigzagging throughout Grimrock 2 that my series has totally missed out on, and I do think it's important to point out to people. So like you could do like the vague sort of shipwreck, Twig Route, Forgotten River, Slate Island kind of stuff, right? And maybe you visit the bog first of all as well. But there's a point where when we first came to the bog, we could have come back up here, done this stuff, gone to the cemetery, finally learned the lightning spell, gone back to the bog, then come back up and done the pyramid, and it would just all the order would have been very different. There would have been a lot more involvement of the bog in particular, I guess, for the game, rather than what we saw, where we just kind of did it once and we got it all in one fell sweep. Even the meteor face, right? Like some players might not record that and be able to get this meteor item, and they would end up returning to the bog too. So there we go, we got our save crystal. Oh my god, I thought I saw the Island Master there again for a second, but we didn't, so that's fine. And we've collected a lot of secrets now, so let's head back into, oh well, not back I guess, for the first time we'll head through the door that we opened at the end of last episode with the mine key and see what is actually out here. Now, I talked to you guys about abyssal pits, you haven't seen anything. Look at this! Now, these are some huge drops. It's funny, the rope I think will still get you down safely, so you're pretty much okay. But we don't want to fall down just yet. This is kind of one of the interesting things about the design of this dungeon, in my opinion, that it's so easy to just hit the floors below. So easy, and it's all sort of so connected. Here you will find this is an alchemy recipe, but it actually functions just like a scroll. It's just got scroll information for us. We'll put it on here. It says the most powerful potions contain the power of the crystals. This, in theory, should be when you learn that the crystals combined with stuff, say this, make potions. So, potion of strength, there you go, John, have fun with that. So this would sort of be where you'd learn about that. I do not believe it's hinting at anything else. Over there, also, you guys can see there is a power gem. How do we get over there, I wonder? You notice these weird markings appearing on the map showing these giant pits here. And also, very importantly, is a stairway down. Oh, that's kind of weird how the graphics work there. Really weird. Here is that like the one graphical bug in the entire game, like this world tear there? Because that's totally a world tear, isn't it? Whatever. There is a stairway down to the Crystal Mine Core proper, and I'm just going to quickly... Oh, what did we just see there for a second? Oh, it's another one of the squid things. Brilliant. And the spider poison dust. Great. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That'll be next episode. We'll use the Meteor Storm right at the start of the next episode on that unlucky spider, that poor, unfortunate spider. Tune in the next time for that. Hope you have a great day, guys, and I will see you then.